and good night. Thanks again for downloading the Body Snatchers podcast. And when you listen, stream, or download straight to your device, Castbox is your best option. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to subscribe and comment. So let's get started. Enjoy the show.
All right, guys, good morning, good night. Thank you for choosing the Body Snatchers podcast. If you guys are new, please head over to bodysnatchersmedia.com. Jesus,
wow.
I'm tired.
How you remember?
It's not that I forgot. I'm just a loser. I'm tired.
But it's that you forgot?
No, I didn't forget. I tongue twisted. I actually thought I said the wrong thing. I was like, I've set them up for failure. But anyways, if you're new, head over to bodysnatchersmedia.com. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/bodysnatchersmedia. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and all that fun stuff. Facebook like 30K strong. So that's fun. I'm cool with that. Gia hasn't been on the show in a while. Gia, what up?
A while? It's only been like a couple weeks.
Couple of weeks.
Maybe like 2 weeks.
This has been the loneliest time in my life.
It has been really lonely, and I'm sorry.
Right? You haven't even been there in like video game chats or nothing.
Sorry.
I finished Shadowbringers. I made like 9 new friends.
How did you finish that already? It's only been like 3 weeks.
No, I'm done. I have a little bit of end content yet left in Final Fantasy, but I'm done. And I got into a whole new Discord.
Now you have to do it all alone with you following me to help me cheese it. Good game, bro.
That's what always happens. You only have so much time to get your life together before Monster Hunter comes out.
That's true. Next month.
Did I tell you that I picked up DC Universe Online for the Nintendo Switch?
You did, and while I was away at training, you told me that I should download it so we could play together.
Did I also tell you that when I used to play that game on PlayStation, I got my combat rating, which is essentially the level you get in the game. It's similar to Final Fantasy, up to 107. 113 is where I retired. And I started playing like 4 days ago in DC Universe, and I'm already at the same level.
Wow.
Isn't that sad?
So you've been doing nothing but playing.
Yeah, right? I've been ignoring my family.
Like, Gia's not here. Let's play DCU. Oh.
Right? But anyways, before we get too off topic, thank you guys for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. Today we're going to do a short anime discussion because it's been a while and anime is important. Yeah, I feel like if we don't do anime, we're liars because it's in the title.
I know, right? We've only been doing gaming and then like unrelated stuff.
When summer kicked off, we did a lot of like, trending movies and stuff just because that's what we were all on.
It was popular, yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and the only game we all sat on so heavy, well, at least you and I, was Final Fantasy, and I just feel like people would have been pissed if we kept doing Final Fantasy shows. Like, the fans for Final Fantasy would have been happy, but our ratings would have...
Yeah, because everybody else has been like, but where's the comics and the other gaming and the anime?
Heavensward, again? I'm sorry, Final Fantasy is very, very good. But whatever.
Yes, it is.
So
especially
the anime...
when you buy those books to skip ahead in the story. Woo! Best thing ever.
Whole facts.
So the anime...
This was actually a recommendation from Gia. I was going to skim right over it, but she was like, I've watched it, and it's really good. Will you watch it?
Why do you have to make me sound like that? You know damn well I didn't sound like that when I told you about it. I called you and I was like, hey, N-word, watch this anime. And you were like, okay, I guess. And then we hung up.
That's exactly what I just said.
It's not at all.
Okay. Maybe somebody needs to get their ears checked out.
It's probably those double-sided earphones or earplugs that caused hearing loss in the military that's all over everything.
I wanted to.
Maybe that's why.
I was just going to say happy birthday on the air, Gia. Everybody, it's Gia's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to drop on that day?
It's a birthday episode. Yay.
Hey.
Jesus, can we just get to the point?
The video confused me. So I was like doing the round of applause, but because it like went backwards on the video, I was like, wait, where am I going? So is it zigzag?
Gia's back, everybody.
I am. Here I am.
We are 4.5 minutes in, and this is Gia. Full speed. So the anime that Gia has requested, Gia, how about you introduce it?
It is called Grancrest Senkhi, or the record of the Grancrest War. So Tino wanted me to say it because this dude keeps adding a D in there. It keeps becoming Grancrest War. Just gonna throw you under the bus like that since you're talking trash.
You're not throwing me over anything. I always slip a little D in there.
Under. Wow.
Did you get it?
I did. Stop. If I can't say swear words, you can't make jokes.
I feel like we should start swearing again. I've been so tired of not swearing.
No. I mean, there'll be episodes for that.
Well, I didn't swear.
Technically, I guess this episode could be an episode for that because there are some things in this anime that are not for children at all. This one should just be marked explicit.
Is anime really for children?
Some anime is, yeah, like Little Witch Academia. I started saying witch and academia at the same time.
No, you came
Little
for me
Academia.
for my grammatical errors earlier in the conversation.
I corrected myself, though.
Now it's your turn.
I corrected myself. Doesn't matter. Okay.
You played right into my trap card.
So, we have good old Sir Theo and his quest to become the owner of the Grancrest so he can make the world a better place.
Before we dive into it, if you guys have not seen Grancrest, we are going to be hitting spoilers and all that kind of stuff, just having a general conversation about it. But if you're interested, it is currently available on Netflix. Mm-hmm. So definitely go to Netflix, check it out. And just a little bit of background, a couple of notes on it. It was originally a light novel that was published from 2013 to 2018, 10 volumes. There's a tabletop game of it. Had a manga adaptation in 2016. Yep. And then the anime aired in Japan in 2018. And there's also a PlayStation 4 strategy game. So there's it's a little bit bigger than you might think it is. In fact, I was kind of surprised. I was like, really? I mean, I get the manga and the novel, but I was like, really? PlayStation made a game of this? Like, of all the anime that could have came out, this is what, okay, whatever. It's fine.
Then you watched it, and then you realized why.
Well, it's, we can get into detail as we move along. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not going to say it's like one of the best things I've ever seen.
I take that nonsense back.
I'm sorry.
It's not the absolute best, but it is one of the better anime in the most recent years as well.
Yeah. To me, it was like I'm going to take a video game and an anime here. It reminded me of like Fate Stay Night meets Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't know if you finished that game. But
I didn't even start it. I have it. It's still in its wrapping because I finished Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
I did with Ganon this past weekend, and it was glorious. But yeah.
It's frustrating, but as long as you're getting your gaming in, then I can't really say anything to you. So I just finish the damn game at some point, please.
You mean start it?
It's been like almost 2 years.
Unwrap it.
It's one of the best
I
games.
have Persona 5 still in its wrapping too, so I mean, please don't. I just haven't had time, but both those games shall be played.
Oh, geez. Okay, so this anime is essentially like one of those wizardy mages, you know what I mean? Like one of those anime where there's like a adventure to be had. And those are always fun to me. So I'm glad that you put me onto this, Gia. I know I'm not hating on it. I'm just being honest. I don't think it's one of the best things I've ever seen, but it's not a bad anime. I'm glad
you're allowed to have bad opinions. It's all right. We all have some of those.
You mean correct opinions? I'm happy that it ended where it did because I was like, I don't know how much more of this I can take. Just because I wanted it to evolve into something else. And I didn't get what I was hoping.
Well, no, they did exactly what they said they were going to do. And I think that's a feat in and of itself because it kept branching off into all these extra little storylines that you thought that were just going to be plot holes. But they glossed everything over pretty well, especially like towards the end. So everything got an ending.
It had strange pacing, though. The pacing reminded me of... Oh God! What was the anime? They're trapped in the video game. Sword Art Online.
There's a lot of those.
Specifically, Sword Art Online season 1 is like where the pacing was like really good at times, and then there's other times where like it switched into a totally different style of anime that isn't as appealing to me. But I know a lot of people, mostly women, for whatever reason. Like Kathy, for instance, is huge into anime like that. She didn't get a chance to watch this because she sucks at life. But like those types of anime, the feely feels that they get to, she loves that stuff. You know.
And you're saying you don't like feely feels?
No, too much testosterone for that. I watched it though. It was good.
I don't believe you.
Well, you don't have to believe me.
Yeah, drink that water. So.
Okay, so Gia was about to start discussing Theo, but before we do that, I just wanted to kind of I guess talk about like a couple basics just to paint a picture for like what sort of world or whatever this is. So Gia, do you want to talk about like the chaos a little bit?
Like, what do you want me to talk about? Well, okay,
Well, it's
so
a world
basically,
that
it's basically a world that has magic. It's got demons. It's got werewolves, vampires, magical creatures, magic in general, and it all stems from this stuff called chaos. And in this world, you learn that there are different ages that the world has gone through, and currently, it's the age of chaos. Which again, the chaos creates all of the magical beasts, all of the magic, as like et cetera, et cetera. So right now, or at least when the show starts, there's this big push to try to end the Age of Chaos and to bring about the Age of the Lords, which essentially would get rid of all magic and would just end that completely. So the chaos is just basically the origin of all the magic in the world.
Yeah, and obviously, as you can imagine, the people are getting stomped the hell out by demons and just all sorts of crazy bad things, and these lords that come to power. There's a whole bunch of them, and they have the ability to defeat these demonic entities, these magical entities. There's mages. There's all sorts of positive things that assist the lords. On the surface, it sounds like a good thing. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we're going to be saved. Like, we have the countermeasure to this evil entity.
Yeah.
And as they get closer to this Age of Lords, as Gia said, it becomes very problematic because now that there's more lords, than demons. Demons it's almost non-existent, but it's still there. The lords are all at each other's throats constantly. It becomes this huge territory battle all the time, where lords are defeating lords and taking over their lands. And that was honestly...
Well, it kind of branched into that because in the beginning, when we first are introduced to the show, you have these two people from prominent families. They're about to get married and join their crests together, and they have like the largest crests. And the chaos erupts, and basically the demon queen, or whatever you want to call it, pops up and essentially ends that whole alliance thing being started. And then you branch into like all of the lords are now at each other's throats because everybody's trying to make the Grancrest themselves. Everybody's trying to have more land and titles. And, if they defeat, higher lords than them, or even just lords at the same level, then they level up essentially, and then they enter different classes. And that's where you come into Theo, who actually came about his crest in a way that it wasn't passed down, because you find out that like these families pass their crest down to their children, and it just keeps going down their family line. Whereas Theo actually went out into like the woods basically around his hometown and just killed a bunch of demons and collected enough chaos to create his own crest. So he's like trying to gather crests for something noble, and then you have all these, for lack of a better word, jackasses out there like killing each other just because they want to be bigger and badder instead of like doing it for the betterment of their people or the land.
Well, that's true. But the way that I guess, kind of took this whole thing was that the lords were, and excuse me if I'm wrong, but I was under the impression the lords were, already fighting over their territories and things of that nature, and they had split into their two groups. The what was it? The Union and the Alliance, I think, something like that. And they basically had finally put aside their differences and each taken a representative, a man and a woman. They were going to get married at this wedding to form the Grancrest, which is what Gio mentioned a second ago, the big crest, to kind of like put an end to everything finally. And that didn't work out, and now they're back at wars.
And it was differing opinions, differing opinions in the beginning, because the girl's family, I think she was the Alliance or the Union. I don't know. Whatever.
I marked them down, but go ahead.
I can't remember who Marine fell under, but basically, like half of her family was about peace and keeping peace, and the other part of the family was about winning over everything and bringing everything together by military might. And that's where Marine was coming into, is that some people didn't believe in the warring and they didn't follow suit with it, but there was like a probably I'd say about half the world that was like, yeah, let's bring everything together through military might. And Marine was the granddaughter of someone that was their thought process. But then she also had a cousin who followed the opposite thought process. That was like, no, we shouldn't be at war. We should be like together and things. So it's one of those things where it was like it was, but it wasn't. And then after that whole thing happened, it definitely became everybody was about the military action.
And Marine was the Alliance, by the way.
Okay.
Just for clarity's sake, for anybody listening. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good story. And you get Theo the golden boy trying to do the right thing. He comes from nothing, and I could get behind that. And like I was saying earlier, my favorite part about this, because this anime, like, it had some action moments that were pretty good, surprisingly good, but it was really the politics. I found myself getting really, really into, you know, what was going on and people stabbing each other, you know, in the back, and just very Game of Thrones at times. I guess, you know, like the kind of the vibes lightly. But still, like, you know, there's a lot of twists and turns and people were changing sides. Like, for instance, Mirza is this super over the top testosterone, like ultimate warrior type guy that was fighting on
Prince
the side of the, he was fighting on the side of the Union. And he ended up, a turncoat, whatever you want to call it, he ended up switching sides and coming over to the Alliance. But the way that he did it was just, it made me feel so dirty. It was a weird scene.
No, it was super dirty. Like, what do you mean kind of dirty? Dude was like, hey.
I said made me feel kind of dirty. It was dirty.
I'll be your sword for hire if you let me poke. And she was just like... yeah, okay, I guess I need you, so go ahead and poke. And he was just like, yes.
Right? And then, but like...
and then the whole scene was just awkward, so... yeah,
I would have been fine with that, but I was surprised that they actually showed the scene. So he's like, all right, you let me smash, I'll be your sword. And she's like, all right, bet. But I'm a virgin, so you're going to do all the work. And I'm like, okay, like, I guess that's kind of a witty thing. Like, and then the scene fade out, right? No, it did not. They got naked.
Well, she was already naked, and he was just like, fuck yeah, about to smash. It was like that bird. You want some...
He did...
I brought
For
you...
as cold as that dude was supposed to be, he wasn't wrecking no walls, though. Her whole face was just...
Well,
I was like, stop.
Also mad, and she didn't really want to do it, so it's probably why. She's just being bitter.
Man, that just sounds like a...
Maybe he was wrecking walls, but maybe she wasn't giving him that satisfaction of knowing he was.
I suppose. I mean, if he wasn't aroused, that couldn't have been a good time at all. Like, he's...
Well, and then to mention that it was only like... well, I mean, to be fair, she was in love with someone else, and you have this dude, this grungy-looking guy that's like, let me smash, and I'll...
Women cheat all the time on the let me smash guys, so...
But she wasn't about that action, because as you notice later in the show, she was like, yeah, I slept with this dude, BT Dubs, but it was only once and I didn't like it. So
yeah, that's true. And you know what? I felt bad for, okay. So the guy that she was supposed to get with, was Alexis, who's like this golden hair, like artsy,
purple-eyed, awesome dude.
Yeah. He's like super, like, I mean, feminine in ways, but he was just like your typical, like, romantic
guy, yeah.
And you know, and when he first came on screen, I'm like, I don't like this guy. I don't like him one bit.
And then you saw his fight, huh? And you were like, he painted that whole battle.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, so he's like, you know, the commanding lord, and he sends out, you know, his people to fight, you know, whatever the other forces were or whatever. Now, we've seen this at this point in the anime many times where a lord is like, get out there, go out there and be somebody. But the way he does it was just like spectacular. He picks up like a paintbrush, like he's writing like a symphony. Like, it was the way they shot that scene was so awesome.
And the way that the scene actually correlated to the painting that he was creating in it just worked out beautifully as well. It really was. And like the lord that he was like fighting against was literally like, you know, he's painting a work of art here. Like, and then he just gave up. He's like, put the white flag up. We lost. Yeah,
they took the concepts from like Art of War and made an animation out of it using Alexis, and I freaking loved that scene. And then just to make it like one step doper, there's a scene towards the end where he finally confronts what's her name, the woman, the leader of the Alliance, Marine. Yeah, where he like blindsides her. She like goes outside and looks out, and he has all his troops from the angle that they're standing, you know, out in the field, and they form a rose, and it was just beautiful. And I'm like, this dude is like the most baller, romantic dude ever. Like,
and he was straight up like, you can't not marry me this time.
Right? And she's like, well, I'm no longer a virgin. And he was just like, well, did you love dude? And no. Well, then I don't see a problem here.
and then he went one step further. He's like, I'll forgive you for anything, basically, because I love you more than anything else. And I was just like, that's not a... You shouldn't say that. You should just be like, okay, cool. As long as you didn't love the guy, let's move on.
He should have got friend zoned, but whatever. I mean...
What? No, he shouldn't have got friend zoned.
That's definitely friend zone mentality. Like, I'm not saying I didn't like dude. Like, I absolutely love his character. In fact, he may have been my favorite character in the series. Next to that damn cat.
Yeah, but see, for front... Well, yeah, the cat.
Do you want to talk about the cat? Yeah, let's get to the cat. Go ahead, Gia. Let them know about the cat.
So...
The good stuff.
This cat is awesome. And long story short, Saluka, our main mage, the main squeeze of Sir Theo... She rescued this cat and almost got expelled from like school, and like her adoptive father almost like legit killed her over this whole thing.
At the Mage Academy.
At the Mage Academy. So like they keep referencing this, oh, I was almost expelled and my dad almost killed me, but I'm here and I'm alive, but I almost got expelled. And they keep mentioning it until you're like towards the end and you find out that it's because she rescued this awesome like cat that's, I don't know if he's a demon or if he's just a summoned creature or he's like this leader back in his own realm, but essentially like anytime that she's in a lot of trouble, this cat just shows up and it rescues her and saves the day, and he's awesome as heck. And in the end, when all the chaos goes away, he turns to dust, and I almost cried because that was the like anything else could have happened. All the other magical creatures disappeared. Nobody can use magic anymore. But that dang cat. And then they made it sad as heck. It was like watching... Which one was Infinity War? And watching, like, freaking Iron Man hold Spider-Man. And he's like, I don't feel good, Mr. Stark. And then he disappears. It's exactly the same. Except the cat's like, I'll always miss you. You were awesome. And then he fades to dust.
She is being overdramatic.
And it made me sad. I'm not at all. Like, literally, when you watch it, he literally turns to dust. Like everybody else that gets their crests taken away when they've been killed. They turn to dust, and they disappear.
Couple of things here.
No, couple things. I'm sad.
A couple of things here. One, assuming that cat had powers for several generations, he was old as hell and got to live multiple lifetimes, so I don't feel bad.
But he just like neck scratches, okay?
Huh? He did. 2.
I permit you to pick me up and scratch my ears. Do you not remember that line?
Cats have 9 lives, so like he's just gonna start from where he came. You know, he's just gonna start over.
How? If there's no more magic?
Because cats have 9 lives. It doesn't say magical cats have 9 lives. 3.
But if there's no magic, he ain't coming back.
He was a black cat, and they're bad luck. So maybe this is for the best.
That's not true at all. You shut your whore mouth.
Look, just because you love African American kitties,
don't make me go get my black cat and make her like judge you in the camera right now. Because I'll walk out there. I'll open up the door and she'll walk right in. Keep that sin with me. I'll remind you that next time y'all come visit and then she snuggles with you. I'll be like, didn't you say she was bad luck? And then she'll scratch you.
Next time y'all come visit. It's just going to be me. Steven's not coming this time.
I didn't say Steven. I meant like Jay or John. Like maybe one of them will come visit.
Well, John just went to Cali and he didn't hit you up. So it sounds like
Steve,
it'll be me.
It's okay. There will always be a place on my short couch for you. Maybe the floor. There will always be a space.
Also, off subject real quick, our podcast was challenged to a go-kart race from Nerds in the Dark.
Yes,
led
it was.
by Mikey, who has been a guest on this show. And that upset me, so that's something...
No, it's definitely something, Mikey. I'm just letting you know. Fly me out. You can catch all the smoke. I'm really good at go-karts. Like, I may not be good at much else. Like, I can't putt-putt. I can't mini-golf. I can't do frisbee golf. But go-karting, I will wreck you. And
Gia throws up before every race to guarantee that she's as light as a feather.
Right? That way, like, when I spin out and make you spin out, you're the one that's going to get nauseous, not me.
Yeah, she vomits to make herself lighter on the racetrack so that you spin out when you come around for your second lap. That's why her teeth are so white. The acid just ate away what was there.
So, funny story. Before we started recording, I was like fiddling with my lights to try to figure out what the best thing was. And like, it was so dark in my room, but my teeth were just so bright. And I was just like, maybe I should just record like this. Everybody can see my white teeth. It's good.
That's high quality fluorite right there. I know my minerals. So, all right. Well, I mean, I feel like we talked about this maybe enough.
Yeah, definitely. I recommend watching it if you've there's a lot of stuff on Netflix right now recently that's come out, and we're going to hopefully review another anime that's on there right now. I'm sure that everybody's been looking at it, but I won't say the name just in case.
Yeah, I've been.
And then, of course, we have the Rocko's Modern Life. Yeah, we have the Rocko's Modern Life movie. We have the Invader Zim movie, which I've watched Invader Zim. I haven't watched the Rocko's Modern Life one, though, but I'm going to. And I'm hoping that we record for both of those. Maybe we could do a combination video or recording on that.
It's going to be tough because the Steven Universe movie's about to drop, so we've got to discuss that for sure.
It is, but that's also in a couple weeks. That's September 2nd. We've got like 2.5 weeks before then.
That's true. We do have 2 weeks before
Actually,
that,
it's like 2 weeks. It's not 2.5. My math was off.
Well, we could do the show in 2.5 weeks. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so I mean, as far as the show goes, I apologize if we skipped around a lot. This was, I guess, more so intended for the people who have seen it. However, if it sounds like something you might be interested in, we do highly recommend it. It's about 24 episodes on Netflix. So
it is 24 episodes. And if you haven't finished it, let this be your thing to finish it.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. It's worth watching, I'd say. It's not one of the best, but I mean, it's not.
You keep saying this, and I think that you're just trying to convince yourself that it's not one of the best things that you've seen, because nobody says it's not the best over and over again like you have, unless they're trying to convince themselves.
Or if I'm trying to piss you off. Parasite was actually recommended by you to me, and that's one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is pretty good. The manga,
0 issues with Parasite.
The manga is pretty good for that too. There are a few things here and there that they took out and didn't translate over, but that's probably one of the best from manga to anime translations I've seen. So
yeah, I'm gonna be very busy. I'm catching up on Black Clover right now. I'm catching up on My Hero Academia manga,
which I recommend Black Clover to you too.
Yeah, but that's it's all right.
I'm just mad that Asta yells so much. I can't watch it in Japanese or in English because it's just annoying, so I only read it.
You know what? Neither of those things bother me. It's just it's like weird pacing for the show. It's kind of like Fairy Tail. I like Fairy Tail. A lot of people don't. Where it has super serious moments at times. Yeah. But Black Clover, I would say their serious moments are more serious. Well, maybe not. I guess they're kind of on the same page. I don't know. It's just not for everybody. A lot of people can't do an anime where it gets really serious, but it's happy-go-lucky at times. Mm-hmm. I don't mind it. A lot of people need one or the other.
Yeah.
So it's whatever. But yeah, I got that. I just finished Attack on Titan, and I need to catch up on the manga and that as well because I finally started slipping behind. It's just the video games screwed me this summer. I've been so buried in them so hard with my head in the sand. Now
the manga kind of got awkward and it wasn't as good for me, so I stopped reading it for a while. So I need to catch up on that also.
It happens. I don't blame you. It's there's so much nerd stuff, and then don't even get me started on comics. I'm so behind on my comics right now. It's embarrassing.
I only follow 4 or 5 of them, so you're good.
Yeah, I have to go back and finish Superior Carnage. It was getting boring to me, but now everybody's saying it's good now.
I'm waiting for that to kind of finish out before I get it, because I've been reading Domino, I've been reading Moon Knight, I have Silk, I've got Gwenpool, I've got the Deadpool runs. I've been reading the Deadpool runs for the last few years, so I'm pretty good on where I'm at.
Not only that, Boruto, I haven't touched a Boruto episode in a year because it was so slow.
I haven't watched or read anything after they realized I can't even remember the daughter's name, but Sakura's daughter, when they were just no, Sakura really is your mom, and I was just wow, this is garbage, and then I just haven't. I watch little fight clips here and there, but it's so bad.
They definitely designed that show for not the audience that was engaged with Naruto. Mm-hmm. I think that's the only reason I'm able to stomach it sparingly. I feel like they designed it with the intention of trying to recapture a younger audience so that they can build back up and have them for another 5 years or whatever, which was a disservice to us because we all tuned in.
May the odds be ever in their favor.
So, all right. Well, we've been talking for a long time.
Yep.
And now I'm tired of talking because I got editing to do.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, Tino. You're the best.
I'll take this L. So, all right, Gia. Well, again, happy birthday.
Thanks.
And for everybody that, is new tuning in, again, head over to bodysnatchersmedia.com. Just make sure you subscribe to stuff. We appreciate you. And
I turned 31. I'm old.
Yeah, that's
you following right behind me, so shut up. All right, bye.
No, what do you mean? I'm 17.
Good day, good night, good morning. Bye, everyone.
I'm not even legal. So, all right. Well, we've been talking for a long time, and now I'm tired of talking because I got editing to do.
Yep.
Yes,
you do.
Yes, my favorite thing.
Thank you for your service, Tino. You're the best.
I'll take this L. So, all right, Gia. Well, again, happy birthday. And
Thanks.
for everybody that is new tuning in, again, head over to bodysnatchersmedia.com. Just make sure you subscribe to stuff. We appreciate you. And
I turned 31. I'm old.
Yeah, that's super old. Super old.
You following right behind me, so shut up.
No, what do you mean?
Bye.
Like 17.
Good day, good night, good morning.
No,
bye, everyone.
Not even legal.